Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today is Sloka 30, right? 28 हो गया 2 दिन के पहले. कौन किसने दिया क्लास? आप? हाँ. और कोई? 29 you gave? 28 who gave? हाँ? ना 28 कौन किसने दिया? आत्म तत्व, आत्म शरीर, अद्भुत शरीर, अद्भुत हरि. वाह, अपना क्रोएशिया डिवोटी, राइट? ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 70, Lord Krishna's daily activities. Text 30. Yo vai tvaya dvinavakritva udata chakra bhagno mridhe kalu bhavantyanantam viryam jitva niloka niratam sagrid udadarpo jusmat prajna yushmat prajna rujati no jita tadvidehi. Yo vai tvaya dvinavakritva udata chakra. Yo vai tvaya dvinavakritva udata chakra. Bhagno mridhe kalu bhavantam anantarupam. Bhagno mridhe kalu bhavantam anantaviryam. Oh, I'm sorry. Bhagno mridhe kalu bhavantam anantaviryam. I didn't say that right. Jitva niloka niratam sagridudadarpo. Jitva niloka niratam sagridudadarpo. Yushmat praja rajati no jita tadvidehi. Yushmat praja rujati no jita tadvidehi. Yo vai tvaya dvinavakritva udata chakra. भग्नो मृदे खलु भवन्तमनन्त वीर्यं चित्वा निलोके निरतं सकृत् उद्धदर्पो युष्मत् प्रजारुजति नो जित तद्विदेहि यो वै त्वया द्विनवकृत्व उधात चक्र भग्नो मृधे खलु भवन्तमनन्तवीर्यं जित्वा निलोकनिरतं सकृदुद्धदर्पो युष्मत्प्रजारुजति नो जित तद्विदेहि यो वै त्वया कृत्वा उदात चक्र अग्नो जित्वा निलोकनिरतं सकृदुद्धदर्पो युष्मत्प्रजारजति नो जित तद्विदेहि यो वै त्वया द्विनवकृत्व उजात चक्र भग्नो मृदे खलु भवन्तमनन्तवीर्यं जित्वा निलोकनिरतं सकृदुद्धदर्पो युष्मात् प्रजारुजति नो जित तद्विदेहि. Mothers, यो वै त्वया द्विनवकृत्त उदत्त चक्र भग्नो मृदे खलु भवन्तम् अनन्तवीर्यं जित्वा निलोकनिरतं सकृदुद्धदर्पो युष्मात् प्रजारुजति नो जित तद्विदेहि. I think I made 1 minute. It's Udadarpo, and then Jusmat Praja Rajatino Ajita Videhi. Yo, who, why, indeed, Tvaya, by you, Dvi, twice, Nava, 9, Kritva, times, Udata, upraised, Chakra, you whose disc weapon, Bhagna, crushed, Mrde, in battle, Kalu, surely, Bhavantam, you, Ananta, unlimited, Viryam, whose power, Jitva, defeating, Niloka, in human affairs, Niratam, absorbed, Sagrit, only once, Uda, inflated, Darpa, whose pride, Yasmat, your, Praja, subjects, Rajan, no, Rujati, torments, Na, as, Ajita, O unconquerable one, that with thee, please rectify. I'm sorry, that videhi, please rectify. Translation, O wielder of the disc, your strength is unlimited, and thus 17 times you crushed Jarasandha in battle. But then, absorbed in human affairs, you allowed him to defeat you once. Now he is so filled with pride that he dares to torment us, your subjects. O unconquerable one, please rectify this situation. Please repeat. O wielder of the disc, your strength is unlimited, And thus 17 times you crushed Jarasandha in battle. But then, absorbed in human affairs, you allowed him to defeat you once. Now he is so filled with pride that he dares to torment us, your subjects. O unconquerable one, please rectify the situation. Purport. The word Nirloka Niratam indicates that the Lord was absorbed in playing within the world of human beings. Thus, while acting like a human king, he allowed Jarasandha to be victorious in a single battle after the Lord had crushed him 17 times. The kings here imply that Jarasandha is especially harassing them because they are souls surrendered to Lord Krishna. Therefore, they beg to the Lord, "Oh, you hold the chakra weapon high, please make the proper arrangement." Srila Prabhupada expresses the king's feelings as follows. My dear Lord, you have already fought with Jarasandha 18 times consecutively, out of which you have defeated him 17 times by surpassing his extraordinary powerful position. But in your 18th fight, you exhibited your human behavior, and thus it appeared that you were defeated. My dear Lord, you know very well that Jarasandha cannot defeat you at any time because your power, strength, resources and authority are all unlimited. No one can equal you, no one can surpass you. The appearance of defeat by Jarasandha in the 18th engagement is nothing but an exhibition of human behavior. Unfortunately, foolish Jarasandha could not understand your tricks, and he has since then become puffed up over his material power and prestige. Specifically, he has arrested us and imprisoned us, knowing fully that as your devotees, you are subordinate to your sovereignty. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desitarine Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapatantikam Vancha Kalpatarobhishta Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Anybody who is here for the first time? Anybody who here for the first time? First time? Huh? For ISKCON? For ISKCON lecture first time. एक, पीछे, दो, तीन, चार. सबको इंग्लिश आता है? हिंदी में चाहिए तो वहाँ पीछे अनुवाद हो रहा है, तो वहाँ आप जा सकता है, हिंदी में वो अनुवाद करेगा. श्री श्री गौर निताय की जाए, श्री श्री राधा रस बिहारी ललिता विशाखा जी के, श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जाए. So, Srimad Bhagavatam in the 11th canto is giving a brilliant description of how Krishna was acting when he came in this world. For many people, they cannot understand how God can come in this world. They think this God is made of spirit, which is okay, and therefore he cannot come in the material world. They think like that. In many religions, it is considered wrong to they say, give a form for the Lord, because the Lord has no form. And if it has form, then it is because of, it's a material conception. They think like that. Because they have an impersonal conception of spirit. Like if there is sky, space has no form, and water does not have shape. But if you put water in a glass, then it takes the shape of the glass. So, spirit to have form must come inside a body like a glass, and that will be like, God cannot come like that. If at all they bother to articulate their opposition, that's what they say. This is an impersonal conception of the Lord. But the personal conception of the Lord is that matter takes form because of spirit. Isn't it? This table, this wood has taken the shape of whatever it is, this book table, because somebody has worked on it, and then that is a person. So matter as form from spirit is something that they cannot understand, that spirit is a person. It's impersonal. Sometimes people ask, if God created everything, who created God? But everybody has to accept some uncreated thing. Suppose you say, okay, God didn't create this world. So this world, or at least matter always existed. Then if matter is there, always existing, that's an uncreated thing. So if an uncreated matter you can accept, why not have an uncreated person? There is no answer to these questions. One has to become God realized, and we must know Krishna, then such questions don't arise. They are like disturbances. They are born out of ignorance, this is not knowledge. Just like sometimes there is a knock on the door and you go open the door and your father is standing outside. And if you ask, oh, why did you come? That is very rude. From where did you come? For what purpose you have come? When you will go? It's not. You have to simply say, please come in, and then sit down and have some prasadam, food. Similarly, to raise these questions about God are in the nature of doubts, and they are demons. So Prabhupada says that even Arjuna's doubts were in the form of demons. And so he called Krishna Madhusudana because he can kill these demons. So although people think that they are arguing very cleverly about origin and all of that, when you actually understand Krishna, there are no questions. Just like one person was saying that when I was a child, I will go with my father to this train station, and there were so many people. And I was very surprised. I was only 3-4 years old. I was very surprised that I came from my house, only me and my father, and how there are so many people. Because he was thinking that everybody is coming from his house. So, because they have come. And so he said, I was always confused from where so many people came. But when I grew up, I still don't know where they came from, but I know that they all came from their own houses. It's no longer an important question.
Similarly, questions that seem very important about Krishna, they're actually not important. So, atato Brahma Jigyasa means you must therefore learn to inquire about Brahman properly. And what is that proper way of inquiring? How I can serve Krishna. Jiyera Swarup Nitya Krishnera Das. This is a very advanced definition of consciousness. What is the soul? Because even in Bhagavad-gita, Krishna gives only a negative description of the soul. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam jagati bhagavaka. That the soul is not, cut by weapons, it's not wet by water, it's not dried by air. But what is it? Lord Chaitanya described a positive definition. Jivera Swarup Nitya Krishna Das. So this consciousness, first we have to understand, and then we have to get Krishna consciousness. Because consciousness is reflected in this world in so many different ways. I mean, we cannot understand what's happening here unless we understand basic things. Consciousness is reflected in so many ways. Just like if I take a paper and if I just draw a shape. I mean, if you ask a child, what is this? He'll say, apple. Say. But it's not actually apple. It's the shape of the apple that I have shown on paper. And suppose I paint it reddish. What is this? It might say red apple. Now two qualities are present in paper, but it's still not apple. Sometimes you can take some plastic and then make it into apple and then paint it. Then it's more like a real apple, but it's still not an apple. Similarly, the form of consciousness is reflected in matter as body. What you call as body is like I just draw on a paper the outline of an apple, like that, and baby says apple. Like that we say as soon as this form is there in matter, person. It's not a person, it's like a person. Are you following? But we are absorbed in bodily consciousness such that we think this is real. That's why I asked who gave the class 28th verse. This point you can think like, why is he suddenly talking about this? Because this verse is about Krishna killing Jarasandha 17 times. No, but before that the important point is made. The message is given that in the 28th verse. Oh Lord, with this corpse-like body, it's not real. Isn't it? The baby says this is apple, but that is actually paper. It's not apple. No, even that, whatever you say is apple is paper. So it is actually dead matter, always full of fear. This is a little tough to understand because you have to understand mind. We'll come to that later. We bear the burden of relative happiness of kings, which is just like a dream. This world is like a dream. The point is made before they go to that you have defeated Jarasandha and all of that. Because once they have said already it's a dream, Jarasandha is not even real. Krishna is not even going to bother about it. But why is he then coming? Why is he acting? That is, we have to understand Krishna's pastimes for delivering the human society and of course all living entities. He comes so that people can understand his pastimes, that spirit as form and spirit as activities. We are simply absorbed in material activities. So, we are also given a chance to act like Krishna when we become devotees. To act to increase the Krishna consciousness of people. But we should not ourselves forget that we are training. Never forget that. Never forget. When we chant Hare Krishna, we are trying to actually concentrate on chanting Hare Krishna. It's very difficult. Trust me, I've tried it for a long time. And I have never succeeded in chanting without the mind disturbing. Of course, Ramrup is a pure devotee, he's chanting perfectly. Right, Ramrup? But normally, so you think that you have to control, you have to control the chanting and you have to chant nicely. That's not possible. The Hare Krishna mantra is the Supreme Lord. So you have to surrender to the chanting. I've gone to suddenly another topic. So, while chanting, it is better to be Dina. Therefore, you try to accept that I'm not a Brahmana, Vaidika Brahmana. I'm not. I'm not a Kshatriya, powerful Vedika Kshatriya who also could chant mantras. I'm not trained from childhood how to chant mantras. And I'm not a Vaishya also. And I'm not even a Sudra. I'm lower than a Sudra, I'm a Malecha. But I am given a chance to chant Hare Krishna. You see? So there is no question of me trying to chant this properly because I don't know this mantra. This is a mantra that is chanted by the greatest of the devotees. I am also getting a chance to chant. Hey. And if you chant like that, the mind will be very quiet. Because you have to chant and say, only you can save me in the mantra, the holy name of the Lord. I cannot chant you properly. So we will chant the mantra now 3 times. But all of you first take a deep breath. Sit properly, Prabhupada said. Isn't it? In the chanting you can see that he'll say, sit properly. And you meditate this thing, that I am actually not very qualified. I am just less than a Sudra. And my dear holy name, I don't even know how to chant, but I'm going to vibrate your name. Actually think like that. I'll give you a second. And then chant audibly to yourself 3 times at least. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. You feel it's more easy to chant? No? I don't know. Did you try? You didn't try? Yeah, that means you didn't focus. What I'm saying is, Trunadapi Sunichena means to chant like that. That I am not even capable of chanting your names. Try this. One day, suddenly when you are chanting Krishna, I'll remind you, hey, remember, chant like that, not like that. Because the only person who can guide you when you are chanting is the Lord in the heart. And Prabhupada also. Because he is also in the heart. If you let him. So, this Krishna consciousness is first manifest as a shape. Matter doesn't have a shape. Isn't it? And it gets shaped because of spirit. Very, very difficult. That's creation. But at least we should hear this. And like adding color and this and that, then there is mind which reflects the ability of consciousness to think. And you are surrounded by that mind. And then there is actually intelligence, which is the ability of consciousness to control things. And consciousness also has the I, that also is reflected in matter as false ego. At the level of gross matter, I have explained this before, you can say this is moving. But at the level of false ego, you have to say, I am moving. That's false ego. You cannot say that is moving. You can say the mind is thinking. But with false ego, you have to say, I am thinking. The I. You are saying, but it's not you. That's why it's called false ego. It's a very fantastic way Krishna has put it. Why, of course, that's another point. Because the soul has got the desire to enjoy. So there's no limit to explaining these things. So just like in the milk, everything is there but not separated. In the milk there is dahi, in the milk there is lassi, in the milk there is butter, in the milk there is ghee, everything is there. In the milk there is lassi, everything, because from the milk you can get it separately, but in milk it's all milk. Like that in the apple, everything, the shape is there, but that is apple. The color is there, that is also apple, not separate. So consciousness has all these things, form, thinking capacity, intelligence, everything, and self-awareness. But it's one thing, it's a person. But in matter, it's all separated and given. And you should meditate daily that this is, I am actually surrounded by these layers of material conditioning. So here this is explained that when Krishna woke up, he meditated on himself. Because his position is always supreme. But we can actually meditate on our current position, and we should extricate this consciousness from this apparent consciousness. Sometimes you feel you are awake, and sometimes you feel you are sleeping in the night. But Prabhupada said, sleeping or waking, it's all a dream. So in order to understand this verse, you got to go 2 verses back, and you can imagine how scientifically it's presented. All these points I'm making are presented, because otherwise you cannot understand Krishna. So Krishna as spirit has form, and you as spirit also have form. Natvam evam jata nasam, natvam neme janadipa, nachaiva bhavishyama sarve vayam ataparam. Last time I couldn't remember that verse, this time I'm remembering. Krishna says, we are all eternal, spirit persons. Very difficult to understand. Very difficult. So, all the people who have come in the material world, they always naturally think there is no God. They hope. Just like Prabhupada gave the example, a lusty man, whenever he sees a beautiful girl, he is always thinking, oh, I hope she is not married. So the atheistic class of persons are always thinking that we hope there is no God, and then they go beyond hope, they say there is no God. Because they can enjoy or at least attempt to dominate. So Jarasandha represents, the manifestation of Jarasandha represents, you see, that tendency to dominate and matter extremely. And these kings are such devotees that they refuse to submit to Jarasandha on the external plane, because that body is associated with the soul who is a demon. At least demoniac-like desires the living entity has in the material world. So, people say, no, but soul is pure. Well, he has to act pure also. So we have to act purely. So this Jarasandha, this dream, this shape, matter shape, they realize as devotees that this is our karma. Jarasandha is not. That is the sign of a devotee. Yadyad bhavyam bhavati bhagavan purva karmana rupam. He says that. Etat pratyam mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi tvat padam boja galakata nishala bhakti rastu. He says that whatever is to come, yadyad bhavyam bhavati bhagavan, let it come. Like Parikshit Maharaj. When he was cursed, he said, "TK, then whatever is going to come, let it come." So in this way, the devotee realizes that whatever is going to happen. So this tendency of the mind, using the mind to analyze what is happening, this is good, this is bad, a bala, a manda, arasa brahma, it's all brahma, illusion, dream, it's not real. So you have to go above this kind of consciousness, which is material consciousness, to your own consciousness, and it has to become then Krishna conscious. So many steps are involved. That is why in the Bhagavad-gita when Krishna says, I shall tell you now, knowing which nothing shall remain unknown, then he begins with actually, Bhumi rapo analo vayu kam mano buddhi revacha. Then he says, Aparayam itastu anyam. Then beyond this there is spirit. And beyond both is me. Dvavimau purusho loke chara akshara evacha. Yasma charam atitoham aksharat apicho uttamaha. I am better than all the conditioned souls. I am better than all liberated souls. Yasmaksharam atitoham saksharadapi chautamaha atosmi loke vedecha pratitaha purushottama. Therefore, in all the loka means Vedas, loke Upanishads, Vedecha, atosmi loke vedecha. Or you can say atosmi loke, that means loke also means wise people, panditas, and the Vedas also say. Pratitaha purushottama, I am celebrated as the Purushottama. So every day we have this prayer, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That Supreme Lord, He has come. Hey, that Supreme Lord has actually come to the material planet and He has set up darbar and He sits there. And a messenger is coming and he is entering Vaikuntha. It is described here that as soon as one enters Vaikuntha, one of the earlier verses, which is Dwaraka, one feels immediate relief from all the material modes of nature. Just like, so just like you are going on the street, summertime, it's very hot, isn't it? And then, I'm just remembering something else. And it's very hot, and then you find one nice building with AC, go inside, immediately you feel relief. Of course, if you are not even sensitive about the heat, like a toiling animal, that's a different matter. So as soon it is described in one of the verses, just a few verses before, that this Dwaraka palaces was Vaikuntha, and therefore as soon as one entered it, he was completely freed from material modes of nature. Means liberated. So everybody goes, we go to the, Vrindavan, Mayapur. You should feel really. You see? And no one should come out. If you go inside that, it's so nice, you feel like I'll sit there, I should not come out. Until Saukidar comes and says, Kya chahiye aapko? Kyun baithaya? Isn't it? I mean, I don't want to really go away from the class, but there was one brahmachari devotee, quite senior devotee, and he told me that I was asking him, what were you doing before, and you know. So, like, then he was telling me that, no, I used to be a sales representative. And then, so what happened? He said, so they used to send me for collection. And I didn't like to go and all that. It was very hot in Delhi. Then I saw this travel agency, and it had AC. So I went inside and I just sat there. And then he was working for some company that had this cyclo-styling machines or something. And so there was that machine there. And I think he was thinking they'll throw him out. But that lady, because he came in this thing and all that, tie and all that, she said, oh, you have come, so have you brought the toner for this? And he was actually working for the same company. He didn't even know that. And I said, really? Then he said, yeah. And then he said, no, I have not brought it. And so, but we have called 3 times, your company has not sent it. He said, who knows, maybe you have not paid your dues. And they said, really? And she called the accounts office, and they came and said, yes, you have not paid. And then he said, then you give the, and then he collected check also. He went inside by chance. And then he collected check, and so Krishna has his own fun with his devotees. So I was hearing that and laughing. So like that. Anyway, it's a long story, but I just shortened it. Very funny story. So in this way, in the material world, we are wandering. But we don't even know. If you go into Vrindavan, if you just simply went on the streets and here, there, you go to Krishna's pastime places, you don't feel that relief from material suffering. Right? You just go and see it like a tourist and you come back. But when you are in Radha-Rasbihari Mandir, when you are chanting Hare Krishna in front of the deities, and when you are attending classes, you feel the relief. Right? Because there's preaching going on. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said that Vrindavan is my birthplace, Mayapur is my bhajan kutir, Bombay is my office, and I come to Bombay for purification. Because that is for us the lesson, because even if you go to Vrindavan, you will not feel the relief from the 3 modes of nature, because now we are not pure enough to enter the atmosphere of Vrindavan. But here it is so freely available. Wow. So staying here is exactly same as going to Vrindavan. I can't even remember the last time I have been to Vrindavan. Because I'm busy doing my service. And there's no difference. So, to actually understand this material entanglement, and then to liberate your consciousness from this false consciousness, and then to actually understand Krishna, the Supreme Consciousness, and then to fix your mind in service to that Supreme Consciousness. Baap re baap, one life is not enough. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prabhatyate. How we are going to enter Krishna's palace and how we are going to be able to enjoy with him, because so many, and we are in the lowest modes of nature and we are supposed to purify and go. Very important point I'm going to make. Therefore, this movement is an opportunity for all of us to become What? Huh? To become Krishna conscious. But you have to know what is that Krishna consciousness. Try to understand that you have to go. It is not Krishna body, it is not Krishna mind, but it's Krishna consciousness. And simply performing Krishna conscious activities with the body, that's only the beginning. That's not Krishna consciousness. So you should realize it yourself. You can say, no, this is Krishna consciousness, same. There is no sadhana and sadhya, there is no difference. You can say all of that. But you must know, just like, suppose you want to become a tennis player or a cricket player, you go and learn. Somebody gives you a bat or a racket, and then you do like that. Somebody sits there and throws a ball at you and you play. You are playing cricket, but you are not playing cricket. You are learning cricket. Are you following? You are learning Krishna consciousness. I am learning myself. If you have not become a cricketer, if you have not become a tennis player in you, if you have not become a doctor, you are studying for doctor, but you have not become a doctor. When you become a doctor, you don't become a little more fat or taller. Oh, when he joined a medical college, he was only 5 feet 7 inches. Now he's 5 feet 11 inches. He must be becoming doctor. Can you say like that? No. Nothing changes externally. But you have become a doctor. Now you are doing the same things. You are treating, you are putting stethoscope, you are testing and touching, but now you are expert. You are practicing, you are doing what a doctor does. Before you are doing the same thing, but you are learning to be a doctor. So Krishna consciousness is not these activities by themselves in the beginning. It is that consciousness that you have, that you should become Krishna conscious. Your activities are Krishna conscious now. You should become Krishna conscious. This is the goal. Direct goal. No more philosophy, no more trying to understand mind, body, but it's all there. It's all there. Why is it all described in Bhagavad Sankhya? If Krishna consciousness is the goal, why is matter described in 3rd canto, Sankhya? Matter is described so that you can know that whatever you are thinking is matter is actually Krishna. So Bhagavad Sankhya is not for knowing how creation is. That's also possible. And you can also present it scientifically. That's what we are trying to do. That's different. But ultimately, the beauty of Bhagavad Sankhya is that it is actually trying to tell you that whatever you are thinking is material creation is also Krishna. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prabhatyate. How? Vasudevam sarvamiti. This is Krishna consciousness. That's what you are here for, correct? You want to become Krishna conscious or no? Yeah, it's not for Krishna body, Krishna conscious body, Krishna conscious mind, which is the beginning stage. You want to become a doctor. After that, even if you are sleeping, he's a doctor. You can't say, oh, he's sleeping, he's not a doctor. Can you say like that? No, it's doctor. Like that, when you become a devotee, whatever you do is called Krishna consciousness, because you are Krishna conscious. That is called Ragatmika Bhakti, what is that, whatever it's called, I don't know. Other people will tell about it. Spontaneous devotions. Whatever you do is Krishna conscious. So you must never forget that you have to become, what do I have to become? And you have to preach. What have you to preach? Krishna consciousness, not Krishna conscious activities. Please chant Hare Krishna, please take this book. That's all right. But this movement is for preaching Krishna consciousness, and you don't have Krishna consciousness. How can you preach if you don't have? I'm not saying you don't have. if you don't have. Does it make sense, Ramanuja Prabhu? This is International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which you must have. Nothing in the world will change, but you will suddenly be Krishna conscious. You have changed. Like when you went to the school, you studied medicine, you have changed, you have become a doctor. You should feel it. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. When you actually become Krishna conscious, you have got the higher taste. At that time you can experience yourself. That Lord Kapila says, Atmano hi atmaiva vindati. He is enjoying by soul, the pleasures of the soul. That's what we are here for. Never forget that. If you simply think, no, I'm practicing, I'm preaching, I'm doing all this, and I'll automatically go back to Godhead. No. Because you are already in Godhead in such a place where it is fit for your consciousness. The whole creation is Krishna's kingdom. And you go from different places in this kingdom, from Goloka to different places, wherever you can go, according to your consciousness. And right now, your consciousness is Jeev Jago, we sang, sleeping. And what is happening is this false consciousness is wandering. Please try to understand. That is something that we are forced, being very wretched. We simply suffer in this world, forced to work under the spell of your illusory energy, forced to work. Because this false consciousness called false ego, ahamkar, ahamkara. Aham means me, kara means doer. Ahamkara means I am the doer. Ahamkara does not mean pride. You are humble also, you can be ahankar. Suppose you say, I am a fool. Still you are in ahankar because you are using I. And you have not understood that you are not that I. So, don't like a Mayavadi think that ahankar means pride. These are both same in the material world. Ahamkar means kartaham iti manyate. I am the doer. And that is, we are fully in this, you must realize it. So, in the beginning, we preach to people, chant Hare Krishna and all of that, because that's what they can do. And sometimes but when you come here, you have to learn Krishna consciousness. Because the Krishna conscious activities, you already know, you are reading the books and everything. So how to taste this Krishna consciousness? This is the nectar. That's why it says, just chant the holy name once. When the consciousness actually becomes Krishna conscious and says Krishna, then that's the pure name. You have to wake up. For that you need association. If you associate with your mind, you are wasting your time. You are following or not following? Mister, you are reading something. So, when we understand this Krishna consciousness, then we can understand the reality of Krishna's darbar. It's taking place, right? We are in Krishna's darbar. Same. Whatever is described here is also here. The same Supreme King is here. And we are all inside his darbar. We are very fortunate. No more suffering from the modes of material nature. But as soon as we go out, it's again outside. The AC is not there. It's hot. It happened. It should not be like that. Therefore, it is described in the Bhagavatam that Narayana Parayana, one who is Narayana Parayana, Krishna conscious, wherever he is, even in the hellish planets, he is happy. And we can see that we are on this hellish planet, Earth, but right now, somehow we have got a little touch of Krishna consciousness by Prabhupada's mercy, and we are engaging in Krishna activities, Krishna conscious activities, and we can still feel relief from the suffering of the material planet. But you should never settle for less. We have come here for the greatest goal, which is to go beyond body, mind, intelligence, false ego, Brahman, and even Vaikuntha, to go to Goloka. So, you have to really, there are many things that has to be said. I'm not even going into the real things. I'm hardly saying 0.05% of what I want to speak. Because you have to know what exactly is the path of Krishna consciousness. Another time. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Once Kirtananand Maharaj, he came and then he left ISKCON. Then during Prabhupada's sickness, he took care of Srila Prabhupada. During Prabhupada's sickness, he took care of Srila Prabhupada when he was in India. So then Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Srila
I'm not clear. You talked about Kirtan Swami left the movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Kirtananand Maharaj.
Okay.
That I'm always praying to Radha Krishna to bring you back. You have served me very nicely. If at all you have chanted so many names, even if you heard at least one name, Krishna will take you back. What does that mean?
Well, I don't know the answer to the question, but I can say something, that's all. Whether it has any value, only Prabhupada knows. The question is, Srila Prabhupada said that we are chanting many times Hare Krishna every day. Out of all this, even if you have heard the holy name once, then, you see, Krishna will take you back to Godhead. For that, we have to understand that we are not hearing. We are not hearing. You have to feel very disgusted when we chant, why I am not hearing. So I'm going to forget everything and hear. That has to be there constantly. So when you understand that you are not hearing, you'll see the mind. I'm saying all this, but I'm myself practicing. I have not realized, so nothing great. But the point is that, but I have seen this, that the mind is constantly running. The mind is constantly running. The modes of nature is constantly. You cannot stop it. Just like you are in an ocean, the waves are constantly tossing you. You can't stop the waves. You have to get out of the ocean. Prabhupada gave that example. When Srila Prabhupada was asked why devotees who do service for a long time also suddenly leave, Prabhupada said it's because you are actually in the ocean, the waves are there, and then somebody comes in a boat and lifts you and puts you in the boat. Now the waves are still there, and it's also tossing the boat, but you are not drowning. So Jnana Plavena, we are actually on the boat of transcendental position, you see. But you have not learned swimming. So if somebody put again in the water, again you will drown. Unless you learn swimming. So no matter how long you are on this boat, unless you chant, go from Krishna conscious activities to Krishna conscious mind to Krishna conscious soul, Krishna consciousness, very dangerous. Any moment he can go back. So the mind is constantly running. And the only way you can chant purely, that I'm finding, is that if you tolerate the mind. No more I'm going to pay attention to the mind. I'm going to chant. Then as you make, efforts like that, when I'm chanting, I should chant only, nothing else. Then slowly you can see the soul is aided by Krishna to withdraw. You can withdraw from the body, then you can go into the prana, and from prana you can go into the mind, and you can withdraw like that. As you withdraw more and more and more, because all of these are disturbances. The prana is also a disturbance. Sometimes when the prana is not flowing, when the time to go comes, my God, it's so much disturbance. It happens. It happens. Notice was given. I also had the notice sometime recently in America. I couldn't breathe in the middle of the night. They had to come and put oxygen and this and that. Prana is disturbed also. So it is not only the mind. Prana also can disturb. Body also can disturb. Disturbance. Body is, pain, this, that. Right? So all disturbances are there. That is why there are three kinds. We are thinking it's all just simply some speaking. No. Prabhupada explains. What are those three kinds of sufferings?
Tapatre, Adhyatmika, Adhyabhotika. Adhyatmika, Adhibhotika.
I haven't even forgotten that. Adhyatmik, Adhibhautik, Adi-Daivik. It's there. So these troubles are always with us. But this chanting process is not to overcome those troubles one by one, directly Krishna conscious. So if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and if you make the effort to give up this attachment to this various, when we like them, as long as the prana is nice, I like it because I can enjoy. And when the prana is not nice, I am suffering. As long as the mind is giving me nice things, I am enjoying. And when it gives me bad things, I am suffering. Body like that. So, when we give this up, then when actually out of this, all these false things, you will hear the holy name. Like you are going on the street, there's so much sound. Bus is coming, ting, 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 bicycle, this, that. Tea, chai, chai, so many people are going, so many sounds are there, isn't it? And then the mother is walking and somewhere the child says, Mama, she suddenly remember, right? Where is my child? Love is there. Father, boy say, Papa, only that sound you will hear. So as our love increases, you will hear. Because otherwise that sound also could have been lost. That's actually so many people nearby are also hearing Mama, Papa, but they are not listening. You are listening because love is there. So that Krishna consciousness is love of Krishna. What does it mean to become a doctor? To know the profession. So what does it become to become Krishna conscious? To know Krishna. And to know Krishna is same as loving Krishna. When you love Krishna, then you will hear that sound. Otherwise, you hear everything else. Oh, what happened? Your child was calling for you. I didn't hear. Because I was waiting for the bus. I was looking for the bus, this, that. So this is just an example. But we are completely disturbed by so many things. Sometimes we realize it's disturbance. But most of the time we think it's enjoyment. And if you go past that, then somewhere the soul is sitting. Just like I'm speaking now, my speech is coming through this microphone, through these wires, into that speaker. Kahan hai speaker? I don't know. Kahan hai? From that speaker the voice is coming. But actual voice is here. Like that the soul is chanting, but you are not paying attention. You are the soul, you are paying attention to everything else. Isn't it? You are in a party, you are trying to catch somebody's attention, somebody else comes and says, hello, how are you? I'm fine, how are you? Sir, one second. Your mind is on that fellow, but here. So you are chanting Krishna's name, but you are on something else. So very difficult. We should feel frustrated by that, given up. So to chant Hare Krishna is not just like chanting anything else. The Hare Krishna mantra is a Maha mantra only if you know this philosophy, not otherwise. Try to understand that. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote in Harmonist that the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra by the Mayavadis is a mundane vibration. It's another class, but so you are chanting, but you are paying attention to everything else, and somewhere in the background that pure sound is there, like it's coming from here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. You have to hear that. So if you just go on paying attention, because you are a soul, and because you have natural love for Krishna, you will hear it. And Prabhupada is saying, even if you hear it once, that is why he is also saying in this verse, just once, ek baar harinam rasamatari. Just hear this once, then you will be our life. And I have to assume that I have not heard it once also. Does it make sense? So that is why association is important. Association of those who have become Krishna conscious, not association of those who are only doing Krishna conscious activities. Oh, he's a great preacher, Prabhu. That's a Krishna conscious activity that anybody can do. Anybody can give and sit a class, give a class. And whenever he gives, that sounds fine, and he also thinks I have given a good class. I never think I have given a good class. Krishna consciousness is that consciousness that you have. And when you speak about Krishna, then if you have love, those who hear that will feel love for Krishna. That's what Prabhupada was doing. When Prabhupada speaks about Krishna, there is love in the air. There used to be an old song, a rock band song, Kansas City band, I think. Love is in the air. In the 60s. As soon as Prabhupada speaks, there is love in the air. Love of Krishna. You can feel it. That is why we are singing every day. What is that? Preme? In the Gurus? Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite. From him, Prema Bhakti is emanating. So, try to associate Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy, or something else. Anyway. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastra Kahe, Lavamatra Sadhu Sanghe, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. I used to know a lot of slokas. Now I have forgotten more slokas than what most people know. I've forgotten. That's also a qualification. Anyway, old age. You are following this point. So, we are supposed to be sadhus. What are we supposed to be? Apichet sujuracharo. Because we are durachar. If we examine ourselves, our mind is running and all kinds of materialistic thoughts are always pervading, Vishi. Then how am I a devotee? You are not a devotee. What are you? Sadhu. Apiche suduracharo bhajate ma mananya bhak sadhuryeva samantavya. Even though he is fallen, if he is actually worshipping me with real love, because he has come in touch with his divine grace, then I accept him as sadhu. And the sadhus are at different levels, that is to be seen. So first to become sadhu. Don't try to become guru. I'm Siksha Guru, I'm Diksha. No, it's all nonsense. Simply by preaching, you don't become Siksha Guru. Try to understand this point. You follow or you don't? My grandmother used to treat everybody. She didn't become a doctor. She was curing people. But if you got MBBS degree, even if you are not treating anybody, you are still a doctor. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji was not preaching to anybody, he is still Guru. I may preach to thousands of people, they may even take up Krishna conscious activities, but I am not a Guru. You don't know what is Krishna consciousness, believe me. I'm saying this, right? So that's why I'm saying I'm not really getting, you don't know anything. Buddhus. So I call this religion as Buddhism. Not Buddhism, but Buddhism. So don't follow Buddhism. Krishna consciousness is a very great thing. Any other question? I'll take one more question if there is, otherwise we'll stop. Like I said, don't ask me questions after the class. Become a better and better sadhu, because then you can be durachar, still you can advance. Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.